this video, we're going to start looking at The Shining more closely, and we're going to focus in on the way animals are symbolized throughout the film. Animals are very prominent all throughout. We see Jack hitting with his ball prominently the buffaloes. We also see him mentioning himself as a wolf and the little pig song, right when he tries to break down the door. There are also various little hints of animals elsewhere. For instance, when Jack is using the typewriter, that's Der Adler typewriter, and Der Adler means eagle in German. And then there are other various little symbols throughout, such as the roadrunner as well, right, and the coyote. So animals are very prominent all throughout the film. I'm going to hone in on particularly the bear symbol that comes up again and again. And what does it mean exactly? Of course, we can just interpret it as it's just a bear, it's just a normal teddy bear that Danny likes to use, and that's it. There's nothing really special going on. But if you're a little bit older, you realize that the bear has usually been linked, again, in America and in U.S. politics, to various political forces. And it's often been used by conservatives as a kind of demonic symbol, and they like to use it to symbolize something. Now, I don't think Kubrick is going down that route. I mean, we're not equating the bear with just one particular politics. There are, after all, different kinds of bears, right? We see bears near Danny, so it could be a foreshadowing of Jack's danger, or I think that bears, in his case, could be protectors. But we're also dealing with Jack's perceptions of what these bears mean, and what the interest of the Overlook is to him. I think we can fairly say that the narrative as a whole is kind of deal with the devil genre, right? The Overlook is going to offer him something, and Jack has a choice to comply or not, and the bear is a kind of neat little symbol. And this shows up in several places. The one that really gets a lot of attention, of course, is the notorious scene with the two men where Wendy basically interrupts something and she sees something she shouldn't want to see, or probably was not meant to see. And that's interesting, but let me just turn to Halloran first. So, as we know, Halloran returns at the end, and Jack is waiting for him, and Jack uses an axe. In the book, he lives, but what's interesting is if you look very, very, very closely, there is, in fact, a bear near Halloran's body. So, it seems pretty obvious that the bear, in Jack's eyes, is associated with things he fears or that are threatening to him. So his idea of the bear is very negative. The scene with the two men, I think, is a little bit more ambiguous. I think we obviously have to see this as, well, the rich and the elite that Ullman talks about at the beginning are very, very decadent, and they have a lot of ugly habits. And the part where Wendy walks in on the two men is sort of symbolizing just how grotesque they are. And we know from the book and the film that it's alluding to the violence against Native Americans, right? The American Indian is a very, very prominent symbol all throughout the film. And I think this sort of helps reinforce that, right? That the rich and powerful are sort of oblivious to what's going on around them. Now, to be fair, of course, the bear suit could be a dog suit, right? I think in the book it's originally a dog. So it could be a dog, but it does look like a bear. So it fits in with our analysis that the bear is kind of being cleverly used to signal several things. With Danny, it's being used to signal goodness and protection and possibly on the side of light. But with Jack, the bear is interpreted negatively as some danger or evil that has to be destroyed. And there's even a Ronald Reagan ad that in 1984 pictured, right, the bear as a danger, and that you'd better elect him to protect us from the bear. So again, we have to be careful because, again, Kubrick is very elusive, and it's very, very hard to pin down what he wants or what he's trying to say. But I do think he's obviously signaling to the audience that, yeah, these aren't just accidental symbols. It's not just images for image's sake. He was trying to tell us something, communicate something with the bear symbol, probably parodying those kind of American attitudes, like how Americans are so driven into fear and can turn even the most innocuous symbol into something that terrifies them. All right, this has been partially examined on animal symbolism in The Shining. Thank you for listening. Please be safe. If you can, please comment below. Please drop a like. Please consider supporting the channel on Patreon. Happy Halloween. Thank you again.